What exactly is Brazil doing from your perspective when it comes to trying to control speech online? What are the mechanisms they're using, and how are people getting around them?
Oh, everything you can imagine, I think, is being tried in Brazil at the moment. But the most important is the use of lawfare and the judiciary power to silence the opposition. If you look at the people who are being persecuted in Brazil by legal orders, they are 99% in the right, and there is only one or two cases of, either random people who are being censored who don't have really political opinions, but, happen to have one tweet that was not nice to the censors, or a party called the Partido da Causa Operária, which is an extreme left labor party that also been censored on social media. Except for this 1%, the rest are all on the political right in Brazil, which definitely shows how it's targeted to a specific group. And what is worse in this case, in my opinion, is that the judiciary power is normally seen as a power that has it's more respectable than the others, right? Executive or the legislature, like Congress, it's always seen like, if you don't...
Non-political and...
Yeah, non-political and just, that's what you expect from justice, right?
Of course.
So this makes the situation even worse, because people look at it and say, okay, but if a judge order you to silence about something, he probably is right. But on the other hand, it's interesting to see how this very position of the judiciary in Brazil has corroded its respectability, should I say. We see that many people, not only on the right, but on the right for sure, but also on the left, don't trust judges in Brazil as they did in the past, especially justice from our Supreme Court.
Gotcha.
I was kidding backstage with the panelists of the previous panel that I hate censors because they make me speak about things I would normally not speak about, like freedom of speech. So I think this is also an important message to you all, like when you get censored, you shouldn't be quiet or silence yourself. You have actually to define and continue speaking, and speaking even more about what you've been censored, because this is really why freedom of speech is worth fighting for. I mean, you have to speak in favor of freedom of speech, even though you're being censored. I think this is very important, not to silence yourself, not to practice self-censorship.
Where do you think this goes next for Brazil? Do you feel like this is going to get a lot worse? Are there signs that things might get better?
I'm an optimist. Just now we saw that Alexandre de Moraes, the justice that has been leading in this censorship in the industrial complex in Brazil, as Michael Schellenberger puts it, he actually yesterday canceled some of his legal orders, actually many of them, against people who were being censored. So I think there's a change right now, also with Trump here in the presidency, and everything we've seen involving the USAID. I think that many people are being scared about, how far this can go and where it can reach. And also, specifically in Brazil, we're facing now a very bad economic situation. Lula da Silva has been spending so much in the last 2 years, and the only way to combat this has been like raising taxes, not cutting in other expenditures in the government, which will actually, I think, make many people who not necessarily interested in freedom of speech, but are interested in not being stolen, right, or having their purchase power lowered, to take to the streets again as they did in the past. So I'm optimistic. I think that in the next 1 to 2 years, we're going to see some change in Brazil, and we're actually trying to lead this somehow with other members in the opposition.